Okay, all right.
Okay,
That's
okay.
cool.
Okay, anyway, guys, welcome back to another episode of InTheCloudsPodcast. Today, we have my guy Hybrid, and we're going to be talking about Apex, his life, and random stuff, to be honest. Do you want to introduce yourself, my guy?
Well, you did pretty much the introduction for the most
Mm,
part. My name is Hybrid. I'm a content creator for Stable. I lead Stable 7 right now, which is a multi-COD team, and they dabble into some other things like Apex Legends. But outside of leading that team, I work on YouTube and Twitch content for Apex Legends.
you've
Playing
been
ranked or
grinding
pubs or
at
whatever.
YouTube videos and stuff,
Yeah,
man. Ever
pretty
since
much
you
ever since the
said,
game
right?
came
Ever
out.
since you said you'd stream, you've been grinding, bro.
I've been trying, man. It's hard.
Honestly.
Like some days my internet like goes out and my stream crashes and it like kills my mood. And
Mm,
like I just want to be able to entertain people and give people a place to hang out and have a good time. And so I just do whatever it takes to get that done, whether it means I have to stream more hours or I have to keep restarting the stream, I'll do whatever. It's
for
all
sure,
about,
for
to me,
sure.
it's like YouTube's always been my main thing because I wasn't able to stream when I was at my old house because I didn't have the internet for it.
Mm,
But now that I moved here, I have the opportunity to stream, and I've wanted to ever since before Twitch Prime was a thing. When Twitch was just Twitch and it was super small and nobody really streamed, it was just a secondary thing. I wanted to because I knew that was a chance to interact with people live and really
mm.
connect with an audience.
Do you
And
know
so
what?
that's been a
It's
lot of
kind of
fun.
crazy when I first started doing like videos and streaming. I used to do YouTube as well back in the day, and then I tried Twitch out, and I was like, bro, this is just different gravy. And Twitch, I don't know, like streaming to a live audience is just so much fun.
Oh no, it really is because like it almost feels like if I could say you're having a sleepover with like a couple of your buds and they're sitting
Mm,
behind you watching you play a game and you guys are talking about it and you're having a good time. It almost feels like that kind of vibe.
it
You
is.
got a couple of your friends or people that support you in your chat, saying, "Oh my gosh," when you make cool plays or talking to
Mm,
you about their life, just hanging out. It's good escape. And YouTube's cool. I love doing YouTube. Obviously, it's why I've
for
been doing
sure.
it for so long. But there's something to be said about having that audience to hang out with and to talk with.
Mm. Okay, we're diving straight in, bro. First question: do you actually still enjoy Apex Legends?
Yes. As much
Why?
as I bitch
Why?
about the game, as much as I can I curse on here? I don't know if I
Yeah,
can
man,
curse
go
on
for
here.
it.
As much as I bitch about the game, I really do still enjoy it. When I started playing the game, when it first came out, I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with the story, like the lore and the movement. It had that Titanfall-esque movement, which it really
Do
rewards
you
the
know what? I
player
used to
for
play
being
Titanfall back in the
good
day.
at
That
movement.
game was so fun.
Titanfall was, oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I never really got into it because I didn't have an Xbox One. I only played it when I was at my friend's house, and then when
Mm,
Titanfall 2 came out, I was already on the COD wave. So,
yeah.
um, but generally, it's my frustration just comes from like things that developers like add in, to cater to casual players. Whenever I feel like something is like out of my control, or for example, having, a character with 75 extra health and a gun shield, stuff like that kind of frustrates me. Or, skill-based matchmaking, even though I understand why all these changes were made, doesn't
Mm,
make it any less frustrating. I mean, at least they're updating the game and adding new stuff. So it's really just like sometimes game mechanics, or the biggest thing for me is like my performance. So like if I'm playing bad, I'm gonna just be upset, and because I'm trying to play well for my team.
do you know what? That's the
I'm
same with
trying.
me, right? As I've been diving into Warzone, right? I know I'm a good player. If I die, I rage at myself. It's really frustrating. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I could dominate on Warzone, right? And I guess it's the same for you in Apex. Like, you know you're a good player, and if you die to some bullshit or to someone who's not as good as you, it pisses you off so much.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because like when you first start playing a game for the first time, you don't really get upset at anything
No, because
because
you're
you're
just
not good, so
learning.
you don't.
Yeah,
But then eventually you learn the annoying stuff, and it starts to. When the more you die to it, it's like
for sure.
okay, now I'm kind of getting
Yeah.
frustrated. But in all seriousness, no, I do still enjoy the game. I still love it. Otherwise, I wouldn't really be playing it if I didn't enjoy it. It's still one of the most polished battle royale games out there right now, and there's still the comp scene is still growing. They're
Mm.
still changing things and trying to figure things out, and I'm all for it. It's
Oh yeah.
to me the game is still thriving. I think the last Apex trailer reveal for season 5 had like 200,000 people watching it at once.
What live?
So
See, that's
yeah,
alright. That's
lives.
good, isn't it?
So it's like I know a lot of people say it's like a dead game because it definitely is not at the same hype point it was at when it
Yeah.
released, but that's not gonna happen. That is not sustainable. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with Fortnite. Fortnite exploded and then it had that downward curve, and now it's
Fucking
leveled out to
Fortnite,
its
bro.
its regular audience. So no, I still love the game. I still play it. It's just sometimes I get frustrated at things in it. But I think when you're playing a game, you're taking a game seriously. It's
Mm-hmm.
important to have that healthy discussion about what is good for the game and what is bad for the game, because there are certain things that when they were introduced into the game, it was like if you leave this, it's going to kill the game. Like when the charge rifle was first introduced, when the
Oh my god.
wingman, before the wingman got nerfed, before the peacekeeper got nerfed, like there are certain things that just aren't healthy for the balance of the game.
Mm.
And so I think in that way, it's important to talk about that stuff and to, like, I guess rant, because people just say it as
Yeah,
you're ranting. But in reality, it's just you want the game to succeed and do well because you enjoy it. So
for sure. I mean, you've got to have that healthy balance of when you're trying to play, like when you're trying to do well at a game, you've got to have fun and sort. You've got to have a healthy balance, you know. I guess that's kind of quite difficult with a battle royale sometimes, but
it's hard because there are a lot of mechanics that are up to chance. You know, what kind of loot you
that's
get
what
off
I mean.
spawn, what kind of gun you
There's so
get,
many factors that
what
involve.
character they're playing. Then you add in the abilities and you add in the passive abilities like
Mm,
Gibraltar's gun shield or the fortified and then low profile and all this stuff that makes it harder for. It becomes a little bit more about luck than it does about skill in some
mm,
cases, because they're trying to cater that casual audience. They're trying to give players who don't play games regularly a chance to get on, play in a lobby, have a
mm.
little bit of fun, maybe get a couple of kills. They don't care if they win generally, or if they do, it's like it's not a big deal to them.
Yeah.
So they do that, and then it hurts from a skillful perspective, like from a player who's taking the game seriously. But no, I understand it, and that's why I kind of just play ranked at this point, because
I mean, because it's funny, like because I don't play the game hardly, right? But I went through a stage, I don't know, a few weeks ago when I was actually playing it quite regularly, and me and you would play a few games, and your lobbies are just horrible. They are not fun at all, right? And I'm just a casual player, right? And Hybrid's like actually decent at the game, and I'm just getting shit on 24/7 by a whole squad, right?
it's
Getting
crazy, dude.
teabagged, yeah. And it's not fun for like casuals to play with their mates who are actually good at the game because of skill based matchmaking. That's why you have a ranked playlist.
Yep, and unfortunately, these are things that happen when you implement things like that. Like when you're playing in your own lobbies, it's a lot more on your level. Like players, they're still good, they're good players, but they're not near that level. So you can
Mm,
actually like for someone who doesn't play the game a lot, you can get on and still do well and perform in your own skill bracket. And I understand it in that level, but you know, again,
yeah.
that's what ranked playlist is for. It becomes a bit stressful in pubs, but you know, at the end of the day, I understand why they did what they did. I just wish they would make it a little bit more beneficial for the solo player, because
Yeah, for
basically
sure.
if you don't have a full team of good players, you're not
Because
having a
that's
good time.
exactly why I stopped playing Apex because I had no one to play with. Right, so I was literally just jumping into random games with random people, and it was not fun at all. And then
Yep.
I don't know if you
Just
remember, but when we did play, you had to create a Smurf. Do you remember that?
hmm
And how many kills did you drop? Do you remember?
17.
Yes, it's literally like first or second game on your Smurf, 17 kills. We won the game, and it was just like, what is this then?
Yeah, it made me realize it's like, wait, maybe I'm like better than I thought, because I'm so used to
Mm-hmm.
playing against these sweatiest three stack players that
Literally.
it really puts you in this mindset of like, oh, okay, well, you know, I can't even compete against these people. But then you go and you play against the
Mm-hmm.
average player base, and you're like, oh, that
Yeah,
happens.
quite literally. Um, Another question I was going to ask, but you kind of covered it, is do you think the game is dead?
Um, I have I'm
Because
very against
a
the whole
lot of
term like
people say a game is dead, right? But
people,
is
yeah,
it
and I hate
necessarily
I
dead?
hate the
No.
dead game term. Like
Mm-hmm.
before I talk about Apex specifically, dead game, like okay, dead game. First of all, you say that, it just triggers me to no end, because like, dude, people say dead game when it's not in the mainstream anymore. You know, when
mm,
Fortnite stopped being on the news and when Fortnite stopped being in every iFunny feature, they were like, oh, a dead game. You know,
yeah.
just because it's not in the mainstream anymore, people say a game is dead. I don't necessarily agree with that. I just feel like the games die out in hype to a certain level, and like they're gonna if they explode in popularity, they will always come down to a player
100%.
base
Yeah.
of regulars. You know,
Yeah.
most of the people that tried Apex for the first time don't play it anymore. But a lot
Mm,
of people that fell in love with the game still play it to this day. There's still thousands and thousands of people playing the game. It's still one of the biggest battle royales in contention with Warzone and
mm,
Fortnite and what have you. So I don't think the game is dead in any aspect. I think people just stop enjoying it and they stop playing it, so it's dead in their mind.
Because like you said, I mean, 200,000 people on a live trailer is pretty massive. Considering, I mean, it's not that big, but up there. Do you know what I
It's
mean?
something.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have creators, streamers bringing in tens of thousands of viewers per stream
Mm,
into their respective streams. Like, if the game was dead, surely it wouldn't have 50 to 100K viewers on any given day on
mm,
Twitch.
interesting. Look, I ain't got this question written down, but what do you think about like Asu moving away?
I'm sad, but I'm happy for him.
I
You
mean, he's
know,
sort of going back to his roots, right?
he still plays Apex now and again, and I always watch those videos because just the way he plays is so mesmerizing to watch.
Mm,
The aim, the movement, he does things that you didn't even think were possible. You're like, wait, you can do that,
yeah.
and I feel like Valorant, he doesn't really get the chance to show off as much because it's more about strategy, positioning,
Mm,
and very quick like shots as opposed to really good aim
it's a
where you have
whole
to
different
track people
game.
for long.
I
It's
don't
a
know.
completely different game, and I feel like you can't really compare Apex and Valorant because they're completely different types of games. But
Mm,
he does have a CS background,
he
so this
does.
might feel more home to him.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's doing something that he enjoys instead of forcing himself to play Apex because he definitely experienced like a dip
Is
in
he classed
viewership
as a
from
pro
it.
player for MLG or
I
what?
think he changed his
Was he just a
bio to
content
like
creator?
he's just like player for energy right now. He's not
Right.
like signed for it. I think they're gonna re-sign him for Valorant. I would be surprised if they didn't, or maybe as a content creator, because he's
Mm,
definitely gonna go pro in Valorant. I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if he did. But right now he's just kind of doing his own thing with energy, and they'd be silly to let him go like that.
Yeah, 100%. They shouldn't let him go. He's pretty big for them still, isn't he? So.
Oh yeah, he's still although he's not bringing in the same numbers he did when he was playing Apex. Like if he
Mm,
uploads a video on Valorant, it'll get maybe 50K views. If he uploads an Apex video within 24 hours, it's got like 200K views.
yeah.
It's crazy. People know Asu for his Apex gameplay. So
I mean, it was funny because
um,
I remember I didn't even know who Asu was, right? And I think I was playing with you or something one day, and then you were like, "Oh no, I think you were streaming,
I'm
and I was
watching a
watching your
video on
stream,
stream.
and you watched the video on stream, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy, bro? He's destroying everyone." And I was just like, "Oh my god!" And then you check out a few of his videos, and it's just like every video he's just shitting on kids, and it's just like
Yeah,
he is
literally.
different. He is different, bro. Honestly, he is
Everybody says,
different.
"Oh, well, if skill-based matchmaking was that bad, then why is Asu able to still drop 20 bombs?" And I'm like,
Mm,
he's not human.
he's just he's different gravy, honestly. Um, a little simple question. Um, will you keep playing Apex, or are you going to move on to another game in the future? Like, what is the future for you? And I guess you could say
Well,
pro gaming. I don't know how you say like pro play. I don't know.
it's always hard to like judge these kind of things because a year ago when Apex came out, I was on the COD train. I figured I was just
Mm,
gonna keep playing COD every year, and one year I was gonna blow up off of COD, and then I jumped over to Apex and I didn't look back. So there could come out a game could come around that I play and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is my next big chance. But
mm,
until then, I think I'll definitely be sticking to Apex. I feel like I put over 2,000 hours total between
that is a lot
console
of
and
hours.
PC, and I've put so much time into learning the game, into becoming a better player, that if I were
Mm,
ever to make myself off of a game, this would be the chance to do it. This is the closest I've been. I've
yeah,
started growing on YouTube. I've started growing on Twitch a lot more. My content's getting out there. People know at least that I'm a decent player, and I want to push that further.
yeah.
I tweeted out the other day that I want my name to be known as
Mhm.
someone great. I want people to know me as someone great, and so
For
I'm
sure.
gonna do that. I'm gonna try to do that through Apex as long as I can until the comp scene fizzles out or until people just stop caring about the game. And if another game comes out that I fall in love with, then I'll keep creating content. I mean, I'm a gamer. I'll always be a gamer, and I'll always be looking
Mm.
for new opportunities to have a good time and to play new games that are fun.
What
But
sort of game
for
would
now, Apex is
what
definitely
sort of
the.
game would like maybe deter you away from Apex? Like what style of game?
It,
Would
it had
would
to
it
be
be
an
an FPS? Yeah.
It'd have to be an
Yeah.
FPS. I mean, I'm a big fan of other kind of games. Like I'm involved in the Smash Bros. Community. I'm
Mm.
involved in like the speedrunning community. I'm familiar with other types of games, and I've dabbled before. But shooters have always been something different for me. I don't know if it's the competitive aspect of it, like the idea of being really good at the game and playing against other people. I'm
Mm.
not sure what it is. I've just really always enjoyed that aspect because it takes so much mechanical skill to get to a fine level. Like you look at Asu and you're like, how much skill it takes to get to that level. That's incredible when you look at a normal
Yeah.
player who can't do anything like that.
I wonder how many hours ASU has on Apex.
I don't know about Apex specifically. I thought it was like 4,000. I might be wrong. I'm just
Mm.
speculating. I thought
It's
I
one
remember
of
hearing that
it's one of
once.
those things. It's funny. It's like I used to play a lot of CS:GO, and you see like the pro players, and they're like, oh, 10,000 hours, 8,000 hours. I'm like, how? Like,
It's
what are you
crazy.
doing, my guy?
There's an old saying that says like perfection. I don't know how it goes, but it's like perfection or mastery at something comes after 10,000 hours of practice.
That's
Like you
just
can master
crazy.
anything with 10,000 hours, and you look at like people who are doing it at a pro level, and people forget that that's the amount of dedication it takes to
Mhm.
become a professional and to be a
Yeah,
professional against other players at that level.
for sure. A lot of people like oversee the grind that people put into to get to where they are.
Well, yeah, especially from a casual perspective, because you just look at it and it's just video games, you know? You
Mm.
don't understand, people don't understand how actually difficult it is until you put a controller or a keyboard and
Oh,
mouse in their
honestly.
hands and you tell them to move and shoot and aim at the same time.
Do you know,
And they're
it
like,
is quite funny. One of my friends who's been on the podcast, his name's Alfie, and he's just got himself a PC. Well, he's had a PC for like 2 months, so he's trying to learn like Call of Duty and stuff. And he used to have a PS4, so it's quite funny seeing him trying to play. And it's like when he was around my house before, because I was building his PC, and I set him up on Fortnite. I was like, "Go on, have a game." Doesn't know what's going on, and it's just like you don't understand how much it takes to do everything in once.
yep.
Like, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Honestly, people like if you tell like the casual person, like, oh, this guy's a pro gamer, gets paid this much from a team, does this on stream, blah blah blah. People just don't understand it.
No, they don't have a single clue. You know, we understand when we see sports players
Mhm.
because we see someone playing football and we know how the sport works. We know that they have to be, physically fit to do
Yeah.
those kind of things and the kind of practice they go through. But because esports is such a new thing, it's only been around for maybe like a decade, decade and a half. Like
Mm.
it's really still even content creation and gaming and esports has not been around that long, so people don't really understand. We're the first generation that's like growing up with it, and then hopefully it'll be even bigger, for the next
Mm.
generation. But once people learn that there is training, there's scrims, you have to keep yourself physically healthy, you have to keep yourself
Mm.
mentally in a good state, and you have to practice every day and put in the time because there are people that are putting in so much more time
It's
and actually
crazy.
perfecting the game to the minute detail, every single detail you have to understand to perform at that level.
And if you're like trying to go pro or something, if you think you're in a good place, trust someone else. Someone else out there is putting in a lot more time than you, a lot more
Yep.
effort to get to a higher standard than you are.
There's always
It's
someone better
crazy,
than you.
and there's always someone worse. That's just how it is. Unless you're ASU, of course. Who would you
It's
say
funny
is the
because,
best player, though? Like, honestly,
oh gosh, well, obviously,
like past and present, like the best player that's ever played the game.
well, okay, let me think about that for a
That's a
second.
that's a tough question because there's been a lot of very very top notch players.
Yeah, and
I mean,
everybody wants to,
I didn't know who Asu was. I didn't know who Makaleli was. I didn't know who any of these lot were until
yeah,
I sort of spoke to you about it and saw you watching their stuff on stream. But
it's really easy to say, Asu's the best Apex player, and I definitely think, like, he is the most creative player, like movement wise and aim wise. I think Albert Lely and the TSM boys are really, really solid. I mean, they're the
mm,
only team in probably esports history across any game to win like 5 tournaments in a row, 5 major tournaments in a row. Like that's insane.
that is
I
crazy.
think I think you can't really look over that as a team, but as for individual player, Asu's done things that nobody will be able to top. Everybody's always calling it, oh, you move like Asu, you aim like Asu, you're
Mm,
like Asu, you're the next Asu, you're young Asu. Like he has made a legacy through
for sure.
Apex. And no one, I don't think anybody else has topped that yet.
He is just on a different level. He actually just is, isn't he? Like it's kind of crazy if you sit there and think about it. It's actually crazy.
You
Um,
sit there and you're like trying to like shoot, and you're like, I'm doing the same thing he's doing. Why isn't it working? I swear.
I'm clicking just as fast as he is. Okay. Honestly, it's actually crazy. So the recent update with the Apex Legends, I only said Fortnite then. My God. With Apex is obviously season 5 brings a new legend into the game.
Yeah, we got Loba.
Loba, thick girl Loba, as people say. Um,
Yeah.
what's your opinions on her anyway?
Well, right now I'm actually maining Loba. I've been playing her a lot in ranked, and I played her when she first came out. I really like I like legends that are based around mobility because I think the most
Mm,
important thing in a fight is being unpredictable and being able to reposition. That's why Wraith and Pathfinder have the largest pick rates in the entire
For
game
sure.
because their abilities to reposition and change the flow of a fight is the most important thing in a game like that. Um, Loba, I like her character. She gives off that badass vibe. Like I know I'm a badass
Mm.
kind of vibe because of her voice lines and her voice acting. But the Q's nice. I wish it was a little bit faster, but I can understand
It
why
does take a
that's the
while, doesn't it?
balance.
I've seen it. It's yeah, it does take a
But you
while,
have to
but
balance it
yeah,
because if it was like instantaneous, like Wraith Q or something, it would probably be busted. But
mm,
and her ult's really good late game when you need, like, say you're trapped in a building, you're in the last zone and your teammates run out of ammo. You can pop, throw
yes,
your ult down. They can scoop some ammo from like nearby boxes.
mm,
I don't think she's gonna shake up the meta as much as people
no,
think she will because unfortunately you just can't beat like the having the Pathfinder, having a Wraith, having a Watson. Watson was the biggest meta shift
mm,
to the game, like to date, just the way she changed the entire competitive scene. But I think Loba's definitely gonna see some rise in ranked, and I definitely enjoy playing her. So I'm gonna play her
mm.
for the time being, just
Because
because
if
I've
anyone
played
doesn't
Wraith
know,
for so long.
Hybrid used to main Wraith like 24/7.
Yeah, 10,000 kills
It's
and
pretty crazy.
6,000 on console. I have almost like 20k combined.
So a lot of kills.
Yeah.
You have more kills than probably my entire count about 15 times over. It's kind of mad.
It's
Um,
crazy.
you have quite a few kills on Pathfinder as well, if I remember.
I do. I think I have a couple thousand on console and a couple thousand on PC.
Mm. You just
He's
sort of
really
played
tall.
Pathfinder here and there though, didn't you? See, I don't like
I
Pathfinder either.
do. I used to play him a lot because he's obviously one of the best characters with his
Yeah.
grappling hook being the most powerful ability in the game for repositioning. After the nerf, he's basically a walking refrigerator, so I don't really touch him anymore because he got the low profile change, which made leg shots the
Uh
same
huh.
damage as body shots.
Yeah.
And with him being so tall, it's really easy to hit him. And his grapple is a 35-second cooldown now. So if you grapple and you mess up, you're
Mm.
pretty much dead, unless you can outgun them. So, but no, he's definitely still a good character to play. I'm thinking they're gonna adjust it in the next patch. I feel like they have to at least tone it down to like 25 or something.
Mm.
Like 35 is a bit excessive.
Oh, to be fair, that
But
leads me on to my next question. Do you think all or most? Do you think like the legends are balanced to some extent?
I think
Do you
here
think
in
there's a
season
standout
5,
legend or a few
oh,
that
there's
lag
definitely a
behind?
standout legend. Wraith is still definitely the number one legend
Yeah.
in terms of she has the smallest hitbox. She has the best running animation. When she runs, it's like the Naruto run,
Mhm.
and so it's harder to hit her. She's got the ability to go invincible and reposition. She's got the portal to reposition her teammates. So far, she's still the best legend in terms of like overall usability. Obviously, there are other people
Yeah.
that can make other legends seem way better, but just for a general pick, I think she's still got the highest pick rate of like 10% or something like that.
It's
Um,
crazy.
as for legend balancing, I think in season 5 it's definitely a lot better than it used to be when the game came out. I mean,
Mm.
Mirage just got a big rework and he's like super good now.
I was reading that
Caustic
on the
just got a
patch
buff.
notes actually about Mirage.
Yeah, the only character I think needs a change right now is Octane needs another buff because they have things they're testing but they haven't gotten that out to patch yet.
I
And
mean,
Lifeline,
all they did
Lifeline needs
was
some.
reduce the launch pad from 90 seconds to 60. That was it.
Yeah, they said they were going to add more stuff, but they
Mm.
didn't make it to that patch. And Lifeline needs a change because at this point, Gibby can do everything Lifeline can, but better.
I've seen that, It is pretty interesting. The fact Big Boy Gibby can do all that stuff. It's kind of mad.
Who would have thought we'd be here?
I know, literally. See, what typical squad do you run into in ranked anyway these days? Is there a typical squad or is it sort of just a bit mismatchy?
It actually honestly depends on what elo you're playing at. If you're in a lower elo, you'll see a lot more players running like Bloodhound or Crypto or
Mm.
other off meta picks. But if you're playing in Diamond and Pred lobbies, you're generally going to see at least one Wraith, generally a Gibby or a Pathfinder. I'd say probably like Wraith, Gibby, and third picks generally up to like interpretation, maybe Pathfinder, or it's a good pick. It really
Mm.
depends. I've seen Caustic a lot recently, ever
Yeah.
since they changed him
I
to
think
make his
he's a little
gas
bit
not
meta
hurt.
now, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean it doesn't stun your teammates anymore, so you can just it doesn't hurt them or
Mm.
stun them, so you can just like throw it down, res in the gas. Your teammates can heal on the gas, and unless you have a digital threat, you can't really do anything.
Mm. See, I think that's how it always should have been. Is your teammates doesn't get affected by it because it is kind of
Oh yeah, I
stupid.
agree. I think it's The only thing that annoys me about his character is when you kill him, if he pops his ult stays
Mhm.
for like 10 seconds after he dies, and you're
Yeah.
just trying to loot the box.
That's funny. That's funny. What else was I gonna ask? I got too many questions, man. I'm looking for these
Hey
questions
man,
right
you
now.
ask away, dude. I'm happy to
Oh,
answer.
another very big change because I remember when I come into your stream, I was like, wait, the fuck? Mastiff is a normal weapon now. It's out of a crate. It's not. It's not in crates anymore. So do you think
Nope.
that was a good change, or
I
because
think
I think they just couldn't be asked to deal with the peacekeeper. So like, just shove it in the boxes and we'll nerf the Mastiff.
putting the Peacekeeper in a crate was a good play. I think as much as I loved the Peacekeeper, that was my main gun
Mm.
for the entire basically since the game came out.
Oh, no, no,
Um,
peacekeeper.
Peacekeeper's so good, but it was too unhealthy for the meta. Being able to two-shot somebody in a meta where there's a high time to kill is
Mm.
just a little bit overpowered. Even the wingman being a four-shot, it's more balanced than the Peacekeeper. If you want a two-shot with a wingman, you have to headshot both shots with a skull piercer. But with
Yeah.
a Peacekeeper, you just have to body shot up close. And so shotguns are always hard to balance in battle royale games. Fortnite had a problem with the double pump shotgun
Oh,
for
that
a
was the
long
most
time.
stupid shit ever. Double
You
pump.
could
My
literally
god.
headshot somebody for 200. One shot, they were
Yeah.
gone.
You can
So
still one shot someone with a
yeah,
pump shotgun. So
it's a bit harder though now. I think
it's
you
very
have to like
difficult. Yeah.
headshot.
I mean, I think you can hit
Um,
like 207 to the head, but you have to be like right in their face.
yeah, that's
But
crazy. But Mastiff, I don't really like the Mastiff without a bolt. I'm not really used to it. I still prefer the Eva just because the Mastiff feels really slow and weak
mm,
now. But I'd rather that than have a broken shotgun meta.
I was gonna say because they nerfed the Mastiff so much, didn't they, to make it
Yeah, it was
sort
a
of
huge nerf.
balanced. Yeah.
There's like fire rate, they nerfed the damage, they nerfed the pullout time, they nerfed this like
Haha.
shooting
Pull out
speed.
time. Then
Oh,
they reduced damage per pellet, headshot multiplier, balance. Was it the pattern distances between the bullets, ADS time, fire rate, projectile size, shell count. I mean, it's just they did everything, to be honest.
Yeah, I've still seen some players making good use of it. If you ADS with it and you're really close, you could
Mm.
still hit for like 50 to 100. It's just at this point, it's not worth using over like a wingman or say a flatline. A flatline is what I've been running recently,
Mm.
just because 20 damage per bullet and you got 30 bullets per mag. That's a lot of damage potential.
Yeah. I mean, I've
Or like a
seen
wingman.
a lot of people use R99 and then Wingman.
Yeah, Wingman's making a comeback in the meta ever since they added Skull Piercer back. Wingman was always a secondary part of the meta because it's
Yeah.
the Wingman and people love it. But now with Skull Piercer being back, you can headshot somebody for 101. Like,
Yeah, they've added it for the DMR and Wingman. Skull Piercer. That's kind of crazy, honestly. And they vaulted the Anvil Receiver.
Anvils, honestly, I like to use them every once in a while. I thought it was nice because I already used the flatline, so Anvils gave me a chance to do Wingman level damage without having to use a Wingman.
Mm.
I could use a flatline, then I could switch over to full auto if I'm up close. But I don't think many other people used it, so it just was taking up like space in the loot pool.
Mm. This is a very interesting one. Gold armor. They've changed gold armor, haven't they?
Yeah,
It's a
they
bit weird.
completely changed it. Honestly, I think it's one of the best changes they've made. As much
Yeah.
as it's as much fun as it is to run around and pop a battery in half a second, it's not really healthy for the game. If you're playing anybody who's decent, you will not catch them. They will
No.
bunny hop behind a corner and pop a battery and then destroy
Ready
you.
to go again, yeah. As it's what? So shield cells and syringes give double the amount per use. So when you use the
Yep.
shield cell, it'll do 2 instead.
So, well, yeah, so one cell equals 2 bars
That's
of shield cell,
crazy.
and so you can heal up with 2 cells and 2 syringes as
So
opposed
if you
to a
had gold
medkit and
armor,
battery.
wouldn't you just carry cells instead of batteries?
Yeah, that's the new play. You
That's
drop
what
all
it
your big
is.
heals for your teammates and you pick up small heals.
Interesting.
And it's
And
to
you
the
just
point where it's still
use
slower,
syringes.
so you could still kill people that have gold armor if they make
Yeah.
bad plays. Gold armor was a crutch to make really bad plays. Just run up in somebody's face, do a little bit of damage, go behind a rock and pop a battery, and then do it again.
Yeah. That is pretty interesting, that change, to be fair. Interesting. What was I going to ask? What changes, right, do you think Apex need to make to try and sort of, I wouldn't say revive the game, but try and, I mean, maybe bring a few players back?
Well, I'd like to see cosmetics be a little bit cheaper. As much as I don't want to sound like a freeloader or whatever, I think $20 for a skin is a little bit much. I think a lot of people are turned off because of that. And then when you have events like the Iron Crown event, for example, where you can buy a bunch of you have an heirloom that's locked behind a paywall of
Yeah,
$160 worth of
literally.
other cosmetics, and then you unlock that and you have to pay another $30 to buy the actual
Yeah.
heirloom. Like it's just $500 to even get an heirloom outside of the events. It seems like a cash grab, and I know
It
EA makes
is.
enough money that they don't have to do that, but and the only people that buy into it are the streamers and the content
Content
creators that
creators and
have the
stuff.
cash to do
Yeah.
so. So I would like to see that changed. I would like to see. I know solos isn't going to happen because they already said it wasn't going to happen,
Is
but
there
I'd like to
still
see
not
something.
solos?
They said that it hurts the game. It hurts the average player
Really?
retention of the game. Like people play it less
I
if
don't
the
believe
solos are
that
in.
at all.
I think it's just because they don't have somebody to carry them, and then they die really fast, and they get upset and they get off. But I thought adding duos in Kings Canyon permanently was like a really good play.
Mm,
Having more game modes is so good because you look at Fortnite and you've got definitely a couple different game modes. You look at
yeah,
Warzone, you've got 3 or 4 different game modes, and then Apex, you basically had trios and ranked.
that
And
was
with skill-based matchmaking, it was just ranked and diet ranked.
it. Literally, that was all the game was just ranked and ranked. It was, yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun.
So game modes, there are a lot of really fun game modes. I think they should have a rotation of every game mode that's ever come out, like every LTM, and just have it switch every couple days. That would be really cool. You know, if you just want to relax and have maybe tone down SBMM in those game modes and just let you and your friends go in and have some fun. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean that's what games are all about at the end of the day, right? It's just having fun.
Yeah, not everybody wants to sweat their butt off
That
and go
dick
for
off,
crazy
yeah.
high kills. And, so
Literally.
definitely some changes to skill-based matchmaking would be nice, especially for solo players. Not matching up solo predators with 3-stack predators because that's just ridiculously, unbelievably impossible to maintain.
Mm.
Adding more limited time game modes to keep the game refreshing, and what was the other thing I said? I already forgot. Cosmetics.
Cosmetics, yeah.
Making cosmetics
Because
a
they
bit
are.
cheaper.
I mean, I think cosmetics in any game are really, really, really expensive. I mean, for what it is, it's pixels, right? That's literally what it is.
Microtransactions have become a crazy
It's
thing in our
crazy.
society.
I mean, that's why Apex Legends was free, right? Because they knew they would make money off cosmetics. Same as Fortnite.
They've made.
I mean, it's crazy.
I guarantee they've made more money off of microtransactions than they would have if they had done no microtransactions and made the game $60.
Mm-hmm.
Guarantee.
Yeah, but do you reckon
They
people
probably.
would buy it if the game was still $60? I don't think people will buy it. $60 is a
Honestly,
lot. I reckon 30.
then again, most games in the U.S. anyway, when they're new, they're $60.
Mm.
So
I
like
mean, I think they're what 50 quid or something, £50.
yeah, it's like
ish.
$59.99 over in most game store retailers
Yeah.
for most games.
I mean, is Apex a AAA?
Yeah, it's by EA. It's a AAA game.
Mm.
I think it counts
So
as
they
a AAA
definitely
game.
would charge 60 for it, wouldn't they?
I think they would if it wasn't like they weren't trying to go into the guise of battle royale type like early access type thing. Like Fortnite, I'm pretty sure Fortnite's still in early access.
Fortnite will never be released.
After
It's still
like what,
early.
2 years?
So, yeah, still early. It's like 3 years now. 3 years.
I don't know if you know the reason why they do that, but it actually helps them push out updates faster because they don't have to go through like the publishers. They can just directly push the updates to the server.
Mm.
And also, when people say, "Oh, well, there's this many problems," and they can go, "Oh, well, it's early access."
Early access. Oh.
It's a beta, dude. It's a beta. It's been 2 years, but it's a beta.
Yeah. What are you drinking anyway? What are you drinking? Little sidetrack.
Water, dude. H2O.
Hey,
Hydration
no
Nation.
shout out. Hide it.
I was drinking. I mean, I have a Mountain Dew over here. I was drinking.
Oh,
earlier,
Mountain Dew, my guy.
Yes, sir, dude. If I ever got a sponsorship by Mountain Dew, that would be the moment I know I made it as a creator.
Hell yeah, I would say Monster, but I ain't got any. Sorry.
I'm
sorry,
like
Monster, I'm sorry.
Honestly.
My camera's blurry. What's this about? Come on.
Oh, mine does it too.
There we go.
It won't do it now that I'm talking about it.
Hey, my C920 struggling over here.
But...
Are you good? There we go. Okay.
I don't know if you've seen the recent like price gouging people have been doing for C920s, like webcams, ever since quarantine started. If you go on Amazon, C920s are like $300. I don't know if they're still like that right
Let me have
now.
a look. Nah, you're lying.
It's crazy, dude. It's
Wait.
actually crazy.
Logitech C920. More buying options, £170. Oh my god.
People are
That is funny.
are price gouging because everybody wants webcams right now. It's crazy.
I never even would have looked at that. That's the funny thing. That's hilarious. How do you know that?
I was helping somebody shop for a PC or not PC, but a upgrades to their streaming setup because they
Right.
wanted to stream, and I was trying to link them a good C920, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to buy it off of Logitech's website because you're gonna get ripped off.
Oh, that is funny. That is funny. Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to close my window. I'll turn my
All right,
alarm.
you're good.
Give me a sec, boss. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me do this. Hey, I'm gonna fuck the lighting up, bro.
It's getting mood lighting in here. You can't hear me. I don't know why I said that.
Oh, there we go. That's what we like. Come on. Anyway.
Yeah, we got mood lighting now.
Yeah, baby. I would change the. Hang on. Oh shit.
Oh, okay,
Hey, what do you know
okay.
about that? Remote
Yo.
control. In fact,
Just
my
a little sneak peek. Just a
my
little
camera
sneak
is
peek. Nothing
struggling
crazy.
here. What is going on? Okay, hold up.
The camera's having a hard time.
Actually, it's not even. Let me try and do this. Hang on.
Yeah, I literally just have the one like desk lamp. I don't know if you can see it, just up there on top of my PC on the ugly
Just
yellow
facing the wall.
walls. And because the light that's behind me, the lighting's too off. You know
Yeah.
how all that goes.
Yeah. Random question.
Random answer.
What internet browser do you use?
Chrome.
Chrome. See, I ain't using Chrome no more.
I do have 16 gigs of RAM, so I can handle it.
I mean,
but...
so do I. But weird. Okay, do you want to flex? Come on then.
Nah.
Hey, my
Just,
camera's dying over here.
You open 4 tabs, and it's like Chrome's using 2 gigs of RAM, but
It's actually crazy, isn't it?
it's because it's mainly to do with like extensions and stuff like that. If you have a lot of extensions installed, I'm just so used to Chrome at this
I don't
point
have
that
any installed apart from.
it's not worth the hassle to like switch to anything
Yeah.
else.
My camera's really fucked here. Is it still dead?
It just got worse, and it hasn't gotten any better.
Like, what is this?
Turn off autofocus and then turn it back on. See if
I
that
will,
helps.
I will. I need to.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. There it goes.
Hey.
Hey.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know. What were you
What the
gonna
fuck's
say?
this thing that I've just installed? For God's sake. There it is. Hey, we
Technical
do.
difficulties.
Oh. What games are you playing right now anyway? Is it just Apex? Are you
It's
playing any other games?
literally just Apex, dude.
Just Apex. Come on, man.
I hardly play off stream anymore. I mean, every once in a while I'll pop in Animal Crossing for the Switch, or I'll pop in
You
like
play
Warzone
Animal
or
Crossing
something
on
like that.
Switch?
Yeah, bro. I was a big Nintendo fan before I was a shooter fan.
Yeah.
I was a huge Nintendo fan. I played a lot of Mario, a lot of Zelda. You know, I thought for a while I was gonna go like competitive in Smash Bros and stuff. Like, before I ever played shooters, I was big into that genre because when I was a little kid, my dad didn't want me playing first-person shooters because they were too violent, and he wanted me to like be old enough to understand how all that works. So I didn't get Call of Duty until I was 13.
That's
And people were out there like, "Oh, it came out of the womb playing Modern Warfare 2," and I'm like, dude.
Do you know, I sort of played like GTA and stuff when I was like really young. Like there was no boundaries for me. I could sort of play whatever.
I was 17 and I downloaded GTA and my dad made me delete it. He wouldn't let me play it. But yet I was playing Call of Duty, bro. He was like, "Nah, dude. All you do is like beat up strippers and crash cars in that game." And like, I'm like, "Dad." I was literally just driving around. That's all I was doing in that game. Was doing like the races and stuff. I liked the free roam aspect of it.
That's funny. That is actually funny. I couldn't imagine being 17 and getting told I couldn't play GTA.
Oh, I love my parents to death. They loosened up a lot when I turned 8. Like as I got older, 17, 18, they loosened up a lot. But I was happy to move out because as much as I love them, I don't want to live with them anymore.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, you live with your girlfriend, right?
Mhm. She's at work right now, making that bread.
Making that bread. Oh, I don't really want to touch on this too much, right? But obviously, a lot of stuff's happening in America right now with George Floyd. It's a bit crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I've seen. I just saw something like recently. I don't know if you've been on Twitter in the last like hour, but the officer got charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter.
He's been charged with it.
So I'm not sure how that's going to develop. I definitely think it's like, especially with everything that's going on with the pandemic, it's a crazy time to be in America, to be anywhere right now. It's just it's one of those times where it feels like the world is ending, but we just gotta like power through it. And
I mean,
That's why I try not to like
mm,
really focus on it too much because I like to keep that positive energy, have a good
yeah, hundred
time and
percent.
just because if I die tomorrow, I don't want my last day to be negative. I want
You
to be
moaning
having a good
about stuff,
time.
yeah, 100%. Um, what was it? I think people have been doing a bit of digging, and I saw on Twitter, and they found where the officer used to live. They found his numbers and all that. It's crazy, man.
Dude, if you upset Twitter, like they will have every single piece of information about you in like an hour, dude.
Honestly, when I because I didn't actually know what happened, but I was on Instagram. I think I went on KSI story, and I saw pray for George Floyd or whatever, and I was like, what has happened here? I went on Twitter, and I was like, oh, okay, this has happened then. And honestly,
Yeah.
man, when something goes wrong, yeah, bro, the whole world goes crazy.
It's really unfortunate too because it becomes part of a bigger narrative and seeing it from this point of view, like obviously I don't condone anything like I
Mhm.
don't condone racism, I don't condone like police brutality or anything like that. Like
Of
I feel
course.
like we should just be able to we're all going for the same type of things,
Mhm.
when it comes to like racism and bigotry, I've never understood it because I was raised to view everybody with the same respect and as
Yeah, of
equals.
course.
But to see the way some people are, I hope that within eventually that will get weeded out of of our generations where we're
I
not
know.
living off of that bigotry and hatred.
I think it's all a bit crazy. But I do think the world's become a lot more softer, right? Like if someone says something, it's all like, oh, it's all a bit like, oh, cancel culture, and I hate cancel culture. I
Yeah, I
hate
mean,
it,
you could go on Twitter every day and see hashtag blank is over party. It's somebody's trending for
honestly.
apparently something they said in 1986 or something like.
Literally. What was it? It's like a lot of past stuff gets brought up, like maybe like an old tweet. People got like dig into it, and then retweet it, and then it's just like it's getting. Then you have to apologize, and it's just like I was like 13. Like, why are you coming at me then? Do you know what I
I
mean?
think it definitely depends on the circumstances. Obviously, like how old it was. Like Twitter, social media was a wildly different place in
Mm.
2013 than it is now in 2020, and that goes for a lot of things. The culture of America, you could say things that you can't say nowadays, and not to say that any of those things, whether you think they're funny, whether you think they're warranted or not, people do a lot of digging in the past. Generally, when they're jealous of somebody's success and they want some reason to get this person to stop doing well, and that's usually their
Yeah,
first
for
go-to.
sure. I mean, if someone does something wrong, it's always hashtag cancel blank. It's crazy.
Hmm.
It's actually bonkers. Yeah, I don't
Some
know,
of them
man.
don't even make sense. Like I saw one the other day that was like Tom Holland is over party, and I'm like, I know Tom Holland ain't done shit, bro. He is the
He
purest
is the
person in the
nicest guy.
world, bro.
Pure English lad right there.
And it was
Honestly.
just a bunch of K-pop Twitters going, man, I can't believe he did this. I don't even know what he did, but stand this fan cam. And I'm like, bro.
Oh, it is funny. It is funny. Um. Anyway, back to Apex for a little bit, and then we can ramble off about whatever else. Another change that happened in this season was the alternator got a little buff.
Alternator's
Um,
actually not bad
I've seen a lot
with
of
that buff.
people use it. When I'm hopping in and out of streams, I see people using it.
Early game, it's good, especially better than it was before. Landing on an alternator doesn't necessarily mean you're dead. I think it has the mag capacity now to where you can still miss a couple shots and kill
Mm,
somebody off spawn. Um, I still wouldn't pick it over something like the R9 just because of the fire rate. It feels like your bullets go really slow, but with the changes they made now, it's a better weapon off spawn. And I think that's the one of the biggest things to help minimize the amount of randomness in battle royales is to make weapons that are viable. If you get a P20 and a Mozambique off spawn, you're not winning that fight. But if you get an alternator,
no.
you might be able to beat someone with an R99 if your shot's good.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you'll pick up an alternator off spawn, and then you'll always drop it for a 999.
Yeah, I usually do. But what I do to mitigate that is when I go into firing range, I warm up with every weapon, so
Mm-hmm.
that way I still get practice with guns because a lot of people say, "Oh, well, I died because I didn't have a good weapon off spawn." And the only time they don't die is when they get an R9 off spawn or when they get a Peacekeeper off
Yeah.
spawn. But you have to know how to use other weapons because you're gonna have situations where that's all you have to use. So I know I definitely recommend people who are having that issue practice with multiple different weapons every single day in firing range and get used to the recoil, get used to how the gun feels
I
because
mean, you
every
spend a
gun.
Sorry, go on.
No, you're good. It's all
No,
right.
no,
I was
no,
just
go on,
saying
no, go on, no, go on, go on.
every gun pretty much has the potential to one clip a full purple armor if you hit all your
Mm.
shots. So when you think about it in that perspective, it's like, okay, well maybe getting an alternator off spawn isn't that bad. Maybe I just have to get good and hit my
Be
shots.
good. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I feel like the flatline's a very, very OP weapon. I mean, it's not OP, but it's out there. It's very good.
Flatline's really solid. 20 people underestimate it. If you hit, it's 20 damage per bullet.
It's
You need
crazy.
10 shots to kill somebody.
Mhm.
Like if you're accurate and you can control the recoil, it fries. That's
It
definitely
does.
my go-to AR. Even though the R301 is amazing, I usually run an R9, so I don't want to run two light weapons. So I'll run
Mm.
R99 and Flatline. Or recently I've been doing R301 and EVA 8 because EVA 8's been making a comeback with the Peacekeeper being gone.
Yeah. I mean, I think when I got my 20 bomb, I think I was using the R301 and a PK.
Oh, the one you didn't record?
The one I didn't record. Right,
Yeah.
I was literally playing a few games, right? I think it was I can't remember what it was. I think it was like nighttime. I think it was like 8 o'clock or something, and I was just playing a few games, and I just went off. And my teammates were there, like they were literally helping me. They were like, "Go for it, man!" The crypto guy was just ulting everyone. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh,
But
I was so pissed. When you told me that and you're like, oh, I didn't record it, I'm like, I wanted to strangle you, bro. Like, high key.
I was
Because
just
you're
bro.
like, I don't know. I feel like I'm always one of the guys that I'm always recording, always trying to stream because
Yeah,
content happens spontaneously. You never know when something funny is gonna happen, when you're gonna pop off. And in the mind of a content creator, I'm always looking for things to create. And when I hear people, they're like, "Oh, I dropped 30 kills and 8 billion damage, but I didn't record it," and I'm like,
well
ah,
then it didn't happen, bro. It didn't happen.
right? They just got the screenshots, like boosted lobby.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but like the funniest things always happen when you're not recording, and it's
Yeah.
so annoying. It's so annoying.
That's why I just record all the time
Mhm.
because eventually the funny things are bound to happen.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I don't know about you, but like some funny stuff happen. I'm like, why am I not recording? Or why am I not streaming? But it's gotten to the point now with me is where I don't play games unless I'm streaming.
Yeah,
Like I'll play a
honestly, I
few
feel
games
that.
of Warzone here and there with like the boys if everyone's on, but like 99% of the time I will be streaming if I'm playing a game.
Well, I mean, and you gotta put it into perspective. When you're usually streaming 6 to 8 hours per stream, you've already gamed for that long. It's like there's no. To me, if I'm not recording or creating content, I don't feel as like fulfilled gaming.
Mm,
I can game for 12 hours a day if I'm making content, I'm streaming. But if I'm just playing a random game and I'm not really like, I'll have fun with it, but it's hard for me to play it for longer periods of time because obviously I'm still trying to make it as a content creator. So I feel like I need to be
100%.
making content because it's one of those careers where it's a grind and you have to be putting in more work than other people, otherwise you won't get anywhere.
I mean, not necessarily more work. I mean, it is more work than other people, but you've got to. It's a whole long story, but you know what I mean. It's
Quality,
yeah,
obviously,
hundred
not putting
percent.
out trash, but you
Yeah,
have to be putting quality effort into your work and being consistent.
yeah,
It's literally written in my bio. Determination is key.
it
Like I've been
is.
on YouTube for my main YouTube account right now that I'm working on has been my first video was published in 2014. Before
How many
that, I had a
videos do you
channel.
have?
Oh God, probably a couple hundred. I mean, the channel that I had before my main channel,
Mhm.
the first video was published in 2011.
That's crazy.
So I've been on YouTube for a long time.
What was that video? Do you remember that first video?
It was an intro. It was like an intro for
Right.
YouTube videos that I made. I mix mashed like a bunch of video games with the Dragon Ball Z theme song,
Oh, that's funny.
and like put it all together. And then at the end, I put my name and stuff. It was like 2011 type cringe.
That is funny. Do you know what? Watching old videos is the funniest thing. I was going through Wodger's videos. Do you know who Wodger is?
Uh, like O2 oxygen.
Yes.
Yes, I know who you're
So
talking
me
about.
and Wodger are IRLs, right? I've known Wodger for years, and I was watching some of his old vlogs, some of his old football videos, because I'm in them, and like my friendship group, and it's the funniest thing. Like I was dying. I was in the call with like loads of my mates, and we're just sitting there just laughing about these videos. It was like it's so cringe, but it's the funniest stuff ever because we were so young. We were just making videos because why not? And yeah, it's honestly the funniest thing. But
Now that you got me wondering about how many videos I've uploaded.
hey, bro, probably how many do you reckon? Have a guess before you can find out.
Oh gosh, like 200 or 300. No, I don't even know. 300,
300.
something like
Okay.
that. At least on my main channel. Let me pull up both my channels. We'll get a good estimate here.
I just wanted to
Okay.
mention, if you guys want to go follow Hybrid or subscribe to his YouTube channel, it'll be in the description. It'll be on screen anyway. So make sure to go check him out anyway. He's a very good guy. Makes Apex content, of course. And
I do be trying my best though.
Yeah, bro. You do be trying. Anyway, how many?
I have 284 uploads on my main channel and 58 on my other
you ain't
channel,
far
like the
off,
first one.
to be fair.
So that's a little bit over 300 combined. But if you only counted my main channel, that's about a little bit under 300.
So what, like 330 combined? That's kind of
something. Yeah.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
People won't realize it takes time. It takes time, and a lot of it. The hardest part of YouTube is that large time frame where you're just trying to figure out what works.
Yeah.
Like I've learned so much about titles, tags, thumbnails, search engine optimization, watch time retention, how to get people to click on certain things, how to get people to interact with things, what the right way to edit a video is, what the wrong way to edit a video is. There's actually like so much to it that people don't realize. I think it's just, I'll just upload a video and it'll get thousands of views. Like it's not really how it works anymore.
I mean, it's like you got to think of when the perfect time to upload is. There's a lot that goes into making a perfect video, honestly. See, for me, the first episode went up on a Sunday night, and it was not the best time to upload, but it did well on that Monday because everyone was watching it when they got home from work, or not work, but like whatever they were doing on that Monday. Obviously, there's not much you can do in the quarantine, but
yeah,
I mean, everyone's sort of at home right now, aren't they? Like, no one's really working.
Yeah, unless you have you're an essential job. Like I'm an essential worker. I work retail.
So am I, my man.
Goody. It's
we both are.
stuff,
so yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean, I guess I should be fortunate. I should consider myself lucky that I'm still able to work and make money.
For sure.
A lot of people out of jobs right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, even my family don't have jobs right now. They've been furloughed or whatever. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, man. We live in a really crazy world. We actually do.
We are literally writing a textbook chapter in the history books right now.
This year is gonna go down on history as one of the craziest.
The 2020 section is gonna be like this big.
It's actually crazy. Do you know what's Jesus Christ, English. Do you know what's gonna be funny, right?
Yeah.
Like when we have our children and we're gonna be like, oh, in 2020 this happened. They'll be like, oh yeah, of course it did.
Yeah, we had the quarantine, honestly. The zombie outbreak,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen that meme on Instagram. But it's like what we expected from quarantine. It's like zombies and all this type of stuff and badass stuff, and everyone's just sitting at home eating pizza, playing video games and shit. It's quite funny.
Listen, man, when quarantine first started, I was like, hey, now I can just do what I already do, but nobody can make me feel guilty about it because I was already staying at home, limiting human contact. I don't fuck with people. People suck generally, and I just like to stay inside and hang out with my my girlfriend, my online buddies, have a good time. I'm a simple person. I have simple needs.
100%. We've been going for 55 minutes.
There we go.
So I'm gonna end it out with one simple question. Is there anything else you want to add at all? Just anything else?
Oh gosh. Well, plug time. If you guys want to find me on any of my social medias, it's Hybridify on pretty much everything. That's Hybrid, IFY. Pretty simple. YouTube.com/Hybridify, Instagram.com/Hybridify, TikTok.com/Hybridify, Reddit.com/Hybridify_, Twitch.tv/Hybridify_. Twitch and Reddit are the only social media platforms I could not get my OG on, but I'm hoping that when I grow on Twitch more, once I become partnered, I can actually you can actually like get inactive names when you're a partner.
Yeah.
If it's like something you do with the partner.
Is your name an inactive account?
Yeah, both the names I want are inactive. Hybridify and then Hybrid. Just Hybrid. They're both inactive.
Yeah, but would you want Hybrid on Twitch?
Honestly, that would look clean. I feel like it'd be cool. Like my goal is like.
But then you would have Hybridify and everything, and then Hybrid on Twitch. It'd be a bit.
So the reason I chose Hybridify, this is actually a good point to talk about real quick. But the reason I chose Hybridify was because being a small creator, it's hard to get people to for your channel to show up in search results. If you type in Hybrid, there's gonna pop up 100 different people that have Hybrid something in their name. Yeah. But if you type in Hybridify, I will show up at the top every time. And so that was my goal, was to make myself more discoverable. Once I
100%.
grow to the point where I can type in hybrid and I'll show up, just like you could type in ninja and ninja will show up.
Ninja comes
It's
up, yeah.
like there's probably a billion people with ninja something in their name,
Yeah.
but he shows up because of how big he is. That's the kind of point I want to get to,
100%.
because I'm hybrid.
Yeah.
Hybridify is just the clean alias I went by because it was usually not taken on most
How
platforms.
did you come up with that anyway? Like, what made you pick hybrid?
Well, this actually goes back to the COD era. So like in COD, it was always whatever the cleanest, like shortest gamer tag you could think of. That was what was good. So it was like hybrid, or like you would do like it's hybrid, or I'm hybrid, or oh hybrid, or like X hybrid, or some you'd add something at the beginning or the end, or like a dash or something to make it very clean. And I forget what made me choose like IFY, but I was looking up different words, and I think I saw like hybridity or something.
Right.
And I was like, and I thought of it like hybridify, and I'm like, that doesn't actually sound too bad. And I tried it, and it wasn't taken, and it looked pretty clean. And I tried it on like other social medias, and I'm like, wait, this is actually not taken. So like my origin is just hybridify. My YouTube is just hybridify. Yeah, I stuck with it.
That's it.
Like
now you just stuck with it.
That's the biggest thing, is making a name for yourself, like how you got Sir Sky on all social medias. You create that, and then you make that known. You make people know you for that.
Yeah, because I went for a lot of aliases to find the one that I'm at now, and I have Sir Sky on every social media, like everything possible. So
what was your one before? It was like,
mate, I've been fucking everything. I've been Sky.
It was something. It was like something B, like backwards.
I've been Eli B. I've been fucking
Eli B. That's it.
Mate, I've been fucking everything. What was I? I mean, I was S7 Sky at one point. Who remembers that back in the day?
The throwback.
Throwback. Funny fact: I joined S7 off Apex. So there you go.
Really?
I joined as an Apex content creator because season 1, I would just stream Apex 24/7. I was big into the game, and then yeah, man.
Those were the days, man.
And then I got bored of Apex, and I said to Rage, I was like, "Yo, I ain't playing Apex anymore. Can I just be a streamer?" He was like, "Go for it," and then that was it. And then I sort of took my social media break for 3 months, left F7, F7 boys, S7, and then yeah. To be fair, I still regret leaving to this day, but hey ho.
It is what it is. We've had a lot of people come and go in the last couple months, but it's good to see who's like truly family. And there are like some people, like I genuinely believe if you wanted to, if you obviously you're grinding for Valkyrie, and I wish you the best of luck on that grind. But
nearly 6 months into the grind right now, so
that's awesome. Have you gotten any recognition from any members yet?
Yeah, Stacks, Progly, also they all know me. I speak to them regularly, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the important part. I remember when I started, I'm actually followed by like Sor Kobe, who's a talent manager for Sor Gaming, and I'm followed by a couple other people in the Apex community. So the best part is getting your name out there and feeling
100%.
like people that you look up to know who you are.
100%. Because I mean, obviously Valkyrie have a grind chat, right? And I don't really speak in there often because I have it muted, and it's just fucking bling 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 all the time. I can't be asked to deal with it. And it's just like, oh, check out my video, check out this, check out that. I just want to have a general conversation with people. Like, I get that you want to plug your stuff, but I just want to talk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I've got some recognition from some of the leaders, but we're still going, man. We're still going. But S7 was fun. It was very fun back in the day. But it is funny how I joined off Apex, I must say.
Yeah. I think it's changed a lot.
You didn't know that,
did you?
I
didn't know that. I thought you were just there as a streamer.
Nah, man. I joined off Apex, and then I got bored, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to become a streamer then.
It's funny. I lead the Apex side now for S7, and it's still in its infancy because we're still trying to figure things out. Apex is in a weird spot because most of the good players, there aren't really many Apex content creators. Most of the players that are good are going for like pro level gameplay, and they're not going to join a team.
Who leads it? Is it you and Binks here?
It's me, Binks, Stunny, someone I can't say because they're not announced yet.
Oh, exclusives! Exclusives.
But,
okay.
We're still growing. We're still.
What are them two people? Are they just players?
Yeah, they're creators. They're content creators.
Okay,
so they're really good players, but they're also making Twitch content and making content on YouTube.
Are they well known?
No, they have a small audience, but it's one of those things where in S7 we try to find like underrated talent and pick them up and give them a platform to grow.
I rate that 100%. I mean, I don't know about you, but my impressions when I was in S7 was crazy. I was averaging like 10, 15 viewers a stream. It's kind of mad. And then
taking a break definitely hurts because people forget about you.
Do you know what? Taking a break fucked my channel so hard. You don't understand.
When I I actually, not many people know this, but I actually quit YouTube for like a whole almost a year,
Mm-hmm.
or no, maybe not quite a year. I think it was probably like 6 or 7 months that I quit because I was getting up on my senior year of high school,
Yeah.
and I wanted to focus on school. And then after a couple months, I was like, man, I really miss doing this. Like, this is
Mm-hmm.
something I was really
Do you
passionate
know what?
about, and I put so
It
much time into it. I
Yeah,
can't leave it.
honestly, it was getting to me as well. I'm not streaming for like the first 2 months. I was like, oh, it's chill. I'm just playing COD with the boys and not streaming. And then it got to a point, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I miss streaming. Like I generally do just miss it. And this is why I've never ever put a schedule out, because I'll never stick to it. Because I'll stream when I want to stream, because I'm not getting to that place again where I just don't want to stream.
Yeah,
So
when you have a passion for something, you make
literally,
it
man,
work.
if I don't want to stream, I ain't streaming. That's how it is. That's how it'll always be for me. Like I know they say put a schedule out, be consistent, but if you want to know when I'm streaming, just follow the Twitter. Do you know what I mean? That's just how
Yeah.
it is.
No, I definitely think there's different ways to look at it because there are popular streamers that don't have schedules that do just
100%.
fine. It's just one of those things where you have to do what's best for you and your health. And again,
Mm,
it's a hobby before it's a job. And if you
exactly.
make it into a job, you want it to be something you actually enjoy, not
Yeah.
something that feels tedious.
100%. 100%. Well, I love how we just rambled on then, just about random shit.
Hey, I mean that's what this podcast is about,
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
That's what it's
Just
about. That's what
shooting the
it's about.
shit.
Alright, anyway, that has been your boy Sky and Hybrid. I hope you guys have learned a lot today about what he thinks about Apex and his personal stuff about YouTube, Twitch, all that type of stuff. Like I said, his stuff will be in the description, or if you're listening on Spotify, go for all the socials as you mentioned earlier. But yeah, thank you for coming, Hybrid. I appreciate it, man.
Of course, man. Anytime. Thanks for having me.
No worries, man. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. Thank you.